In this talk, I'm going to discuss a different way of thinking about human functioning, a focus on how we tend to do things rather than on what we do or the traits and abilities that we have. In the individual psychology of Alfred Adler, a person's personality is referred to as their style of living, and all behavior, cognition, and affect are thought of as psychological movement. The focus of assessment is on describing the pattern of movement through life. We talk about it as a psychology of use rather than a psychology of possession, emphasizing how a person makes use of their various capacities and opportunities, and considering all psychological and bodily processes and characteristics as tools of the self for enacting that unique style of life. Sternberg talks about the construct of style as a potential bridge between cognition and personality. But I think about it in a more holistic manner, with the style of living of the person incorporating both cognition and personality. Sternberg defines 3 types of styles, and we are going to look at some examples of each of these different types. First, we have a cognition-centered approach to styles. These styles often seem quite like abilities and can often be measured with assessment instruments. There are numerous styles in this approach to styles. I'm going to introduce you to 3. The reflective impulsive continuum suggests that thought and behavior are all the outcome of 2 broad systems of information processing, the reflective system and the impulsive system. The reflective system generates behavioral decisions that are based on knowledge about facts and values, while the impulsive system elicits behavior through associative links and motivational orientations. Field dependence and independence is another continuum. It consists of a person's ability to identify embedded parts of an organized visual field as entities separate from that given field. This drawing is called My Wife, My Mother-in-Law. Some people see a young woman looking away, while others see an older woman looking to the side. With practice, you can learn to move from one figure to another. In general, people who exhibit field dependence tend to rely on information provided by the outer world, the field, or the frame of a situation, while field-independent people use discrete parts of the field distinct from the organized background. Executive function is a set of mental skills that includes working memory, flexible thinking, and self-control. The focus is on how we are thinking. We use these skills every day to learn, work, and manage our daily life. Trouble with executive function can make it hard to focus, follow directions, and handle emotions, among other things. The styles in the personality-centered approach are akin to personality traits. Keep in mind that a style is something you enact or do, while a trait is something you have. I will introduce you to 2 personality-centered approaches. Gregoric looks at style in terms of 2 basic dimensions, the use of space and the use of time. Space refers to perceptual categories for acquiring and expressing information and ranges from abstract or metaphorical to concrete or physical. Time is divided into ways of ordering facts and events and ranges from a sequential, step-by-step approach to a random, web-like or spiral approach. This creates 4 styles. 1. Concrete sequential. People who focus their attention on concrete reality and physical objects and validate ideas through the senses. 2. Abstract sequential. People who prefer logical and synthetic thinking and validate information through preset formulas. 3. Abstract random. People who tend to focus their attention on the world of feeling and emotion and to validate ideas through inner guidance. And 4. Concrete random. People who prefer intuitive and instinctive thinking and who rely on personal proof for validating ideas, rarely accepting outside authority. The Myers-Briggs Type Indicator looks at how people perceive the world and make decisions. The test assesses 4 continuums: introversion-extroversion, sensing-intuition, thinking-feeling, and judging-perceiving, to arrive at these 16 types based on a high or a low score on each of the 4 scales. The activity-centered approach to styles centers on the notion of styles as mediators of various forms of activities that may arise from aspects of cognition and personality. For example, research have focused on learning styles and on teaching styles. Learning styles are thought to show a person's preference for learning and processing new information. There is considerable difference of opinion about how many learning styles exist, but there is merit in acknowledging that approaches to learning vary. Many teachers find these 8 learning styles useful in tailoring lessons to individual learners. Similar thought has gone into how teaching occurs, with 2 dimensions, from doing to watching and from experiencing to conceptualizing. 4 different teaching strategies or teaching methods are defined: the self-discovery method, the discussion method, the coaching method, and the information method. Other educators have identified a continuum from teacher-centered style to a student-centered style. In the teacher-centered style, the teacher is positioned as an expert who oversees the imparting of knowledge to his or her students, usually with lectures and direct instruction, akin to my talks. In the student-centered approach, the student has more responsibility in the learning, and the teacher becomes more of a guide on the side.